We're going to take a look at the top stocks on WallStreetBets. We're going to rank all of them and see if any of them are worth your money to invest. Now, I am a professional investor. I am competing in the U.S. Investing Championship, currently ranked 27th in my division. And so what I want to do is give you a professional investor's opinion on these top stocks on WallStreetBets. So let's start at the top, the S&P 500. Well, that makes it easy, right? Because everything starts with the market. Let's go take a look at what the market is telling us right now. So first, we're going to look up in the corner. This is going to help us determine our score as we go through these, okay? So we're going to rank them. So SPY, let's put the rank here, and then score, and then rank. Okay. So looking at the SPY, what we see here is a sell signal in place on the market. Now, when we look up in the top corner on the Outlier 9, these are going to be similar because the market and the stock, they're the same in this case. So has a bearish trend, and that is very easily found with the red background right there. The signal is bearish because it has a sell signal and has been a sell signal since March 4th. And as you can see, pretty appropriately timed on that sell signal. Then breadth. Let's go over to breadth. Now remember, 40% of the move of every stock is due to the market. 30% is due to the sector, and the last 30% due to the stock itself. Now remember, the market and the stock on the SPY are the same. But the breadth, we do need to talk about that. The energy sector and the tech sector have bullish breadth. All 9 other sectors, there are 11 total sectors. All 9 other sectors have bearish breadth. Now let's look at the overall market. So Outlier covers 9,000 stocks and ETFs. Looking at this, it continues to move down further and further and further. So now what we're sitting on is 11.07% of stocks with buy signals. That means 89% of the market. 89% of the market is sitting on a sell signal. Now, as exciting as it is to see, I don't know if this is going to show. Yeah, cool. This was the move on Monday. As exciting as it is to see a move like this, one day's move does not change anything. And in fact, let's add to this. Mondays in bearish environments actually are really, really strong. In fact, it happened literally last Monday. Last Monday, the market went up about 1 percentage point on Monday. This Monday, the market went up, I think it was close to 2 percentage points. At one point, it was, geez, how high to go? Over 2 percentage points. Ended up closing about 1 percentage point higher in the midst of a downtrend. Now, you're going to see people say, oh, well, if you miss the 10 best days in the market, let me remove all the drawings here. If you miss the 10 best days in the market, you miss out on all the gains. Here's the ugly truth that people don't want to realize when they say that. The 10 best days in the market generally happen when the market is at its absolute worst. What? Yeah, that's going to break your brain for a minute, right? Generally, the 10 best days in the market happen when the market is at its worst. Who's this guy? Chris know what he's talking. He doesn't know what he's talking. He's crazy. How about this enormous green candle? Wow, that is a bonkers candle. From top to bottom, the market moved 11.36%. Holy goodness. That's an entire year's worth of gains on the market in one candle. Just forget the fact that it was down. How much was it down? Bottom to top. 21% before that. Just forget that fact. Don't pay no attention to the man behind the curtain, okay? The fact that it was down 21%, and now you're only down after that move, after this move up, 10%. Just ignore that fact, okay? And this is not an isolated instance. This happens time and time and time again. The biggest up moves happen in the worst bear markets. I know it's crazy. I know it's crazy. And in bear markets, Mondays are typically very strong, and then they end the week very weakly, right? And that's what we've seen the last couple of weeks. Now, am I calling for this to crash? No, of course not. I have no idea what the future holds. Now, there are certainly some traders out there, or traders, some content creators, I'll put it that way, who trade and make all kinds of money, and they're so wealthy, who definitely don't have anything to prove, so they'll never join the U.S. Investing Championship, which is verified. They make so much money, they'll tell you the opposite, right? They'll tell you they know exactly where the market's going. They know exactly where the bottom's going to get. In fact, we're going to call those guys Lambozos. The Lambozos out there will tell you that they know exactly where the market's going to go. First off, nobody except Nancy Pelosi can see the future, okay? Only she can see the future. Everybody else has to look at what we see. And what we see right now is a bearish trend. How do we identify the trend? Now, the trend is going to be established using this trend template, and it will apply to every stock on every time frame. You can do this on the 1 minute chart, the 1 year chart, the 1 hour chart, and the 1 day chart. Doesn't matter. It always works because it's just math. Now, I don't need a YouTube disclaimer to go with that because it's only math. The 10, 20, and 50. Add those 3 moving averages to any chart that you own. Okay. Any charting platform, you can get this for free. The 10 EMA is your short-term trend. When price is above that point, it pulls up the 10 EMA. You see this right here? Price is above the 10 EMA and it pulls it up. It's a real phenomenon because it's the average price moving up. Okay. This is your short-term trend. Now, what we want to see is the short-term trend being greater than the intermediate-term trend. That's your 20 EMA. You can think about it in weeks too. 10 EMA is 2 weeks, 20 EMA is 4 weeks, and 50 EMA is 10 weeks. Okay. So you can think about it like that too. The 20 EMA is established to where, you know what, is the intermediate term trend going higher. And there are times where it can crash down below it, but we're still in a bullish trend. Like right here, you can see a big nasty sell-off. However, it was still in a bullish trend. But what we're looking for is the 10 being over the 20 and price being over the 50. So even on a candle like this is still a bullish trend. Now, what I want to tell you is we can see the direction. We can see the direction. And they don't talk about the 10, 20, 50 much on finance channels on TV. Because why would they? It's too simple. They want to, hang on. We might have to like save this meme and just reference it a lot. Because this is legitimately all you got to know. Just by stocks, this is going up. Just by stocks, this is going up. No, you need to take the time to study and time the market and hire a financial advisor and pick individual stocks and also invest in private equity and hedge funds and also buy crypto and execute complicated option strategies. Or just buy stocks as they're going up. Okay. Now, you know what to look for. I can show you the trend with absolute certainty, mathematical certainty. You can't take it from you. Okay. It is a fact, the direction, but I can't show you duration nor magnitude. What do I mean by that? Like right here, the 10 went under the 20, price went under the 50. It came down. That started a bearish trend, but immediately went back up. Okay. That is what I mean by I can't tell you duration or magnitude, but I can show you direction. And then it came back up and we went sideways for 6 months on the market, 6 months on the market before it decided which direction it's going to go. Now, you probably were really frustrated over those 6 months where you weren't getting the games that you thought you were, And now what we see here is the direction pushing down. And again, I don't know how long it's going to last going down, and neither do you. I mean, there are definitely some Lambozos out there who will tell you that they know exactly how long it's going to last, but that's not the truth. Okay. So looking at this, we can see the trend. We established what the trend is. Now you know how to compute it. The signal is a sell signal. And we looked at market breadth, showing only 11% of the stocks of the 9,000 stocks and ETFs we cover is in a buy signal status. So that's not great. Now, this will apply to all the stocks that we look at today. The sector, when we look at these, all the other sectors are going to make a little bit more sense, but let's look at it this way. Okay. Of the 500 stocks that are in the S&P 500, it's not 500 stocks. You're so stupid. It's 483. Shut up. I do that because it actually happened. That actually was a comment that I got. And if you are so stupid to think that you're going to outsmart me, somebody who's been trading for 17 years, because I didn't know it was exactly 483. It's called the effing S&P 500 for a reason. Go find a bridge and jump off of it. Okay. Looking at this, what we see down here in this sector is the 500-ish stocks that are moving in the S&P 500. Okay. What is the 500 stocks on average doing? Now, what this time frame is looking at is this on a daily basis. Okay. It's 513. No, shut up, Brandon. Wait. Let's go, Brandon. How you like that? Okay. So looking at this, we can see of the, in fact, let's calculate it out just because we can, right? Let's calculate it out. 191 companies reflect greed and 291 reflect fear. It's 482. I was closer at 483 than you were, Brandon. I was closer than you were, my friend. Well, actually, according to my calculations, 482 today. But once SoFi gets in it, that's going to change everything. Anyway, back to this. how many companies reflect greed versus how many companies reflect fear, and how high they are on their fear and greed scale. So what this is doing is, of those 500 companies in the S&P 500, you said it was 482. Shut up. I'm just going to say 500 from now on. Of those 500 companies, how did they change over time? Well, they had been getting really greedy, and then look right here, right? As the sell signal happened, a ton of them have started to fall off and are getting more and more and more fearful, more and more and more fearful. Okay, so that's what the sector fear and greed represents. And the sector breadth of the 500/482, or 501.97 in the S&P 500, how many of them have buy versus sell signals? Okay, so we're taking these two charts and we're combining them down here. Now, what did these two charts represent? I didn't get a chance to talk about it. This is the number of uptrends, which is getting less, and the number of downtrends, which is getting more. That's not good. That's not good. Not at all. Okay. So of the 501.97 stocks that are in the S&P 500, I mean, let's be honest here. They need to rename it to 501.97. That way everybody can be very specific about it. We can see the breadth is bearish, and we're getting less uptrends, more downtrends. So we're establishing right now that the market is this. The sector is this, the fear and greed for the sector of the 500. And then the breadth of the sector is a little bit different than the overall total breadth of the 9,000. Okay, a little bit different, but they measure a very similar result. Now let's go into the stock. Now this will be similar on a couple things, but individually on the individual stocks, you'll see a change. So the stock trend, 10 under 20, price under 50, is bearish. Also, you'll notice the red background right here shows you if it's in a uptrend or downtrend, or a white equals a sideways trend. Okay. Next is signal, sell signal. So these are going to be the same right here. The fear and greed. Now, this is where it might break your brain a little bit, but keep in mind, this is the fear and greed on the index. This is the fear and greed of the average stocks in the index. Okay. So the average fear and greed score of the 501.97 stocks is at 4723. Where did I get that number? Just look right here. I'm going to go over here. It is 4723. The index itself, the tradable index, shows a fear and greed score of 36.88. Okay, so over here, keep in mind, that's where the number shows up, 36.88, which is actually really low, quite low, getting quite fearful. Okay, and then any outlier blocks in the way. What is an outlier block? An outlier block is a spot on the chart that represents areas of trapped buyers or trapped sellers. So this order block right here is a perfect example where you can't say order blocks don't work, because it absolutely does. These people, every time price came up into here, sold it as fast as they possibly could. Let me show you a different example of people buying it as fast as they could, right? Nvidia. Every time it's come down to this area, it has bounced every time. Every time so far. Literally every single instance it's come down to here, it's bounced. Does that mean it will only go up from there? Or does it mean it will only go down from there? Time will tell. At some point, buyers will overwhelm the sellers, maybe, or sellers will overwhelm the buyers. Okay. I'll give an example of SoFi. Okay. This one lasted for years, literally years. This outlier block was on the charts. Now you can make your charts look exactly the same as mine. We have a free indicator inside of our Discord. You just click it and then you add it to your chart. You can get TradingView for free. You add in the deep thought indicator for free. Then your charts will look identical to mine. So you don't have to do any set of coding. Just click it on. This chart right here showed us that there was an order block coming right into here. And the receipts are on YouTube. I said, do not buy this. Do not buy this. We're coming into earnings. We've got an overhead order block. What happened after that? SoFi fell 50-something%, 53%. Now, did I know it was going to fall 53%? Of course not. But it set up a place on the chart where these trapped buyers were stuck, okay? And they had warning, receipts are on YouTube, that you don't want to buy into an order block. And they created a second one right here. Now, over on this side, this is an example of when the buyers overwhelm the sellers and it pushes the price up, okay? So it can be broken, but it is an elevated area of concern, of higher risk. And because of that, not interested. Once it passes through there, absolutely. Now, why would I be excited about that? Because 52-week highs, all-time highs, that's bullish AF. And think about it, right? Anybody who's ever owned it in the history of time for the last 5 years is now profitable. And so, of course, they're going to be happy. And they're going to go tell all their friends. And it's going to move higher and higher and higher until it reaches a new point where the buyers turn into sellers. They become more fearful. And look, a new order block created right there. Big nasty fall off. Big nasty fall off. Okay, so we talked about what all the 9 is up here. So we're going to give a score to what those are. And in this case, the SPY, the number 1 on the chart, or on the list over here, the SPY, we're going to get a score of 1. So the rank, we'll have to see, but it certainly is not number 1. Certainly is not number 1. So next, let's put this over here. Let's do 1 to 10. 1, 2, 3. Hang on. I know somebody's thinking like, we'll just do +1, Chris. I know. Hang on. Here we go. Yeah, all the way to 10. Perfect. All right. And so the score of this is going to be 1. Let's go to the next one. Let's go to USO. USO is the oil ETF. So if you ever like, man, I'd sure love to trade oil right now, especially with Iran being all crazy. Let's go trade oil. You could do that with USO. So looking at USO, got that buy signal back on February 19th. That was my 40th birthday. February 19th, got a buy signal. And what happened after that point? Huge rocket ships. And more than just rocket ships, lots of rockets and shit flying around. Rocket ships versus rockets and shit. How you like that? So let's remove this guy. Let's remove this guy. And let's calculate how far it's moved since that point. From here to here. As of today, do we have a sell signal left? No. Okay. So this is up 37% so far. 37% so far. And it's come into an order block up here. Does that mean it'll be rejected? I don't know. Only time will tell. Only time will tell. So looking at USO, we're going to look at it objectively. Now, emotions aside, let's take a look. Because this is oil, this is going to operate differently than other stocks, right? If you're looking at SoFi, if we're looking at Nvidia or whatever, right? That's going to have more of the pull of the market. USO, because it's oil, it's going to have a lot more pull from global influence. But still, we're gonna rank it up here, okay? So the market, that's not looking so good. The sector, not looking so good. But this is actually using the S&P 500 sector right here. If you wanted to look at the in fact, I think we have a button right here. Yeah. If you want to look at the sector for the energy stocks, you just go over here, click energy, and you can see right here. And I knew this would be different, which is why I mentioned it. The sector, fear and greed, is growing. So the energy stocks, okay, because USO does not measure energy stocks. USO measures oil. Then breadth is actually bullish over here. So that we're going to give it a score of 2 so far for the greed, fear and greed, and the breadth. Okay, I'll give you a little bit. I'll give you a little bit right there. Now back to USO itself. So we've already established we're going to give it a score of 2 for these guys. The trend of it is bullish. We know that. The signal is a buy signal. Fear and greed actually peaked at 95.44 and is coming down ever so slightly. Fear and greed is pulling down ever so slightly. And there's no outlier blocks here inside of Outlier. There is one here on TradingView. That's why I like to look at them both, because I would absolutely use this outlier block, but it has a 2% window. Is this up 2%? That's why. It's showing that it doesn't have an outlier block because the gap we use is 2%, and this is at 3.24. So you know what? I will make sure that it does not include that because that is my personal limit. So let's add this up. We're going to give you 2 from XLE. We're going to give you the outlier block right there and these 3. So it's a 5 of 9, 5 of 9. Okay. 5 of 9 for USO, which means USO takes the lead. So we're going to do home. We're going to do editing, and we're going to do sort and filter. Then we're going to do largest to smallest. Okay, cool. So we got that. Let's look at the next stock. All right. Microsoft. Microsoft is looking terrible. Microsoft is what is known in the trading world as the market cycle, because look at this. So let's talk about what the market cycle is. Okay. You guys are learning so much in this. You guys are learning so much in this video. I hope this is useful. If this is useful, do me a favor. And this honestly does help the channel. Will you hit the like and the hype button? Now the hype button only comes on the replay, so you won't see it while we're on the live stream. But if you're finding this useful at all, hit the like and hype button for me. It really does make a difference. Okay. So stage 1 is the consolidation. Stage 2 is the big, beautiful upturn that everybody wants to be a part of, when trading just feels effortless. Investing is so easy. Stage 3 is the topping pattern. Stage 4 is the big, scary, nasty decline. I wonder what Microsoft looks like. I wonder what Microsoft looks like. Well, we're zoomed in here. So let's zoom out just a smidge. Let's zoom out a smidge. You know what? Let's zoom out a little bit more. Oh, you've got your stage 1, your stage 2, your stage 3, and your stage 4. Microsoft is inside the market cycle right now, right? It is right now in the midst of this big, scary, nasty downtrend. So the sell signal came on November 5th. It was at $500. Now we're down in the 300 somethings, right? So we've sold off 20 something percent. In fact, let's go measure that out exactly. November 5th on Microsoft. November 5th. Okay, so I got it measured right there to today. How far has Microsoft fallen? The most boomer stock of all time is down 26% since the sell signal came through. Okay, but it's the number 3 stock here on WallStreetBets. I don't know why. Now, you can try and buy the dip on this, right? Or you can use the outlier signal to save 26% of your portfolio as it works again. Okay, just take a moment, all right? Let's think about it. I don't know how much is in your account, but let's say that you had $100,000 invested, right? And let's say that it's gone down 26% since that sell signal came through. Now you're down to, what would that be? $74,000, right? I mean, that's almost as much as like used car, okay? You've lost as much of a used car in Microsoft because you didn't want to sell because you were a, quote, long-term investor, okay? Outlier's 82 cents a day. That 82 cents a day would have paid for how many decades? Hang on just a second here. So let's say you went down $26,000 divided by 300, gets you 86 years. You just would have saved in your account 86 years worth of Outlier. I don't know. I feel like it's a good deal. You tell me. You tell me in the chat. Go ahead. Tell me. Feels like a good deal to me. So there's my sales pitch for Outlier. You need it. It's going to save you unbelievable amounts of money. So the, let's go back over to here. The scale of Microsoft, right? This is in the tech sector, so it's going to be good. And then the trend, signal, fear, and greed, and outlier blocks. Now, it doesn't have an outlier block on top of it, which is why it's not lit up. So we'll give you that, which gives you a total score of 3 of 9. Okay. Let's go to this and we'll say Microsoft 3 of 9. Now, am I saying Microsoft is never going to go up? It's going to crash to 0? No, of course not. Right. And the market cycle will tell you that too. At some point in time, it's most likely going to find some buyers and start moving up. I don't know when that is. You don't know when that is. And because neither of us know when that is, how about we just don't get in the way? Don't dollar cost average on the way down and just wait. But Chris, if I'm not doing anything, I'm not making any money. Dude, you're making so much money by not losing money. Do you understand how this works? Right? By losing 26% of your account in Microsoft, hoping and praying that it's going to come back, you now have 26% less that you could invest in something else to make even more money. By not losing money, you are making money in this case. Okay. So taking a look at this, and I know there's going to be people saying, but I can dollar cost average on the way down. Let's just resolve that real quick. Okay. Let's say that you dollar cost average by buying the dip here, 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 and here. Now, let's say that Microsoft turns around and goes back up like tomorrow. That's fine. Let it go up tomorrow. And then you dollar cost average here, 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 and here. And you're not going to believe this, but you're going to have the exact same average price if you're buying it on the way down versus buying it on the way up. Now, here's where you're going to really have some regrets, okay? Let's say that you did buy, let's use this middle one right here. You first had to endure a 16% drawdown before it hit its bottom. And then it started to go back up. But if you're the smart investor, okay, and you waited until it started to go back up, you got the buy signal, you saw the trend reverse, and you bought at the same point. Let's see where that same point is. Let's say you started buying right here, okay? Going back to this point here, you're up 11% by the time this person is breaking even. Do me a favor, if that was useful, if this totally changes your opinion on dollar cost averaging, put a thumbs up in the chat, right? The fact that you can be up 11% by waiting, still dollar cost averaging in, while this person is just getting to break even, will be a total game changer for you. So let's wrap that up in a nutshell. You want to buy the rip because you don't know how high it can go. And you don't want to buy the dip because you don't know how low it can go. But you can make way more money way faster by waiting until the dip turns around. You've got all the tools in front of you to make that happen. Okay, cool. So we got Microsoft on the board with a score of 3. All right, let's do this again. Let's do our home, edit, sort, largest to smallest. There we go. USO's on top, Microsoft, and then SPY. Okay, what's our next stock on here? Micron, Mew. Wait a minute. You remember Super Troopers? How they said meow for everything? Maybe we should say Mew for everything. I don't know. Shut up. I'm just trying to have fun with you guys. All right, let's zoom in on Mew. This is a beautiful stock. Well, it certainly was back here on Christmas Eve. Ran like gangbusters, so I got that sell signal. It farted sideways for a hot minute. Got a new buy signal in place. However, pulling back a little bit. So let's take a look at the score over here. We got a 5 of 9. 5 of 9. The sector is starting to turn around, slightly less fearful. Sector breadth is crossed over on the tech sector. This is mutating. Oh, that was a good one. It's mutating to start moving in that right direction. That was a real stretch on that one. But the trend is still in place. The signal's in place. Fear and greed is still growing in place, and no outlier blocks on top of it. So I'm going to give Mew a Mew score of Mew 5. That was super bad. I know, super bad. All right, we're gonna roll with that. Sort and filter, largest to smallest. Okay, so we got USO on top, Mew, Microsoft, and SPY at the bottom. Oof. Ooh. If these puns continue, I'll have to mute this video. I love it. All right, let's go to the next one here. Super micro. Now, I don't follow news at all. When I say I don't follow news, I don't follow news. I wouldn't know anything that's anything right now because it's just not part of my trading plan. So I don't care. It's all noise. However, this one popped up into my feed and I was like, oh, so super micro, their CEO got busted smuggling Nvidia chips into China. I'm going to smuggle. Hang on. Let me see if I can do this. We caught him. He was smuggling the Nvidia chips into China. How dare he? It was a absolutely stupid idea. Of course, Joe Biden would have done the same thing. Sleepy Joe Biden, he would have smuggled everything. And because of that, he's got an itty bitty baby brain, itty bitty baby hands, just like me. And what a dumb guy to go and try and smuggle those chips into China. How dare he try to smuggle those into China? Now, I mean, that's some crazy news, right? That's some crazy news. That's some crazy news. That's some crazy news. And because of that, like that's a crazy news. Okay, let's go look at SMCI, and let's go look over here. Well, here, hold up, just a cotton pick. Hold up, just one cotton pick a minute. If Nancy Pelosi can't see the future, how in the wide world of sports did Outlier see that sell signal? Like 3 days before. Oh my gosh. Hang on a second. This is crazy. Let's go look at this. SMCI. The sell signal, right? It was going sideways for a long time. We can see that. Sell signal, March 13th. Right there. Now, granted, it really was in a downtrend, a slightly sideways downtrend. But oh my good gravy. As the stock fell from here to here, let's go to the low right here, 34%. Holy goodness, 34%. And now, right, even though it's in the tech sector, it doesn't have an outlier block in the way, at least for more than 2%. The trend is down, signal's down, fear and greed is down. This stock is down bad. Now, there are people out there who want to buy this dip. And again, neither of us know how far down it's going to dip. But if you are interested in getting SMC at this huge discount, dude, by all means, do it. Once it figures itself out, once the moving averages start crossing and turning back up and going the other way. But Chris, I won't get the best price. You're going to have to be okay with that. You're just going to have to be okay with that. And because of that, that will save you. We just talked about that a minute ago, Microsoft, right? That's going to save you so much time and money waiting for the dip to finish and the rip to begin. Okay. So going to SMCI, 3 of 9 on SMCI. Hold on a minute. I just heard something. There's somebody at my door. Hang on. Not this guy again. God, not him. Hang on. We've got a special guest appearance, and it's not a guest that I'm interested in having on, but he's here. So hang on just a second.
Knock, 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 knock. It's Chris Chains. Still him. Hit a couple before the door frame. Too loud. Go Lambo parked by the slow lane. Pool shape Lambo, yes, no shame. Iconic. Knock, knock. It's Chris Chains. Don't ask me how. All buys never sell dates. Why would I? If it pump, then I'm self-made. Built different. Risk management couldn't tell me. Never needed.
Yeah, boy, I'm here. You know the deal. You know the deal. Chris Chain give best stock picks ever. You go my YouTube page, sign up for my course. It's only $84,000 a year or a quarter. You know what? I just make $84,000 a quarter. Why not? You can pay me full-time money. Know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? Now, here's the deal, baby. Here's the deal, baby. We gonna show you all the best stocks to buy on them dips. Okay, boy? All right, boy? I'm gonna show you all the stocks to buy on them dips because we not only got diamond hands, but we got diamond watches. Oh, we got them diamond watches all day. So, diamond hands, diamond watches. Let's go look at this diamond stock called Antero Midstream. Antero Midstream. Why you look at Midstream? That's a weird thing we look at. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna be right now. All right, here it up. Here's the thing. What up, baby? What up, Evelyn? Oh, no, I'm saying me and Evelyn, we got 10 going on. She know deal. So, Evelyn, here's the deal, Evelyn. Ellen, listen. We got a sell signal on Amstream. And I mean, why'd you buy it anyway? It's so expensive. It go up so high. Ain't nobody want to buy that stock. It's too expensive, right? You want to be buying it as it crashing down. So we go to Amstream down here. Okay. Oh, that's a big old move right there. 24% right there. Now, them broke boys don't know nothing. Hang on. We got to find the dips. Where the dips at? There you go. You see. Don't you get it, boy? You go back in time. You find a spot where it dipped, and you say, okay, I see the dip. You buy the dip all the way down. Here you go. Don't tell nobody. But when I make my YouTube videos, don't tell nobody. When I make my YouTube videos, I use this really, really sick feature called replay. So I go back in time where I find where that dip get bought. And I make the video and I'm like, look at me, boy. I'm so smart. Yeah. See, I'm going to buy the dip right there. Okay. So hold on real quick. Don't worry about the fact I'm using a replay feature. See, I'm going to buy it right there. That's what Chris Chain get in, you know, because I don't want to miss out. Right? It's undervalued. Don't you get it? And then it's just going to come back up. I know exactly where them bottoms at. See, told you. That's where the bottom. Well, hang on. Wait. This doesn't help with my YouTube videos. I'm going to buy more down here. You got a dollar cost average into it. Don't you get it? All right, listen. Once you understand that you got a dollar cost average into the stock, that's where to go you go back up. And then it go back up, see? Oh my God. Don't you understand? Don't you get it? That's how it's done, baby. When you buy the dip and it go up, and then you walk around the house and it jingle jangle, that's when you know you're the real millionaire, okay? Because I bought it right here, and then I hang on, wait a minute. Let me wait for the replay. I sold it right here. That's the deal. And because of that, I made $22 million. $22 million. That's more than the Seahawks made at the Super Bowl, right? I won $16 million on the Super Bowl because I knew my girl gonna fall out. I knew Seahawks gonna win. I knew this gonna win. That's how you do it. If you ain't gonna know how to play the right game, just don't play the game. All right. So here's the deal. It's too expensive for me. Because it's too expensive for me, I'm gonna say am. That's how you spell am, right? Hang on. Midstream. There we go. Midstream. Midstream gets a score of -14. Okay. Why buy it when it's so expensive? Duh. It's just ridiculous. Why would anybody buy Midstream when it's up expensive like that? That's so dumb. You dumb boy. Why'd you ask I could going up? So stupid. All right. Let's go to the next stop. the dirty energy. All right, dirty energy, and you spell that DUR2Y. Wait, that didn't work. Hang on. Dirty energy. D to the E. That's what I'm saying, right? Here the deal is, right? Did you get two lambs after that trade? Because you selling the masterclass or what? So here the deal is, right? You got to take the masterclass. It's free. But at the end of it, I'm going to tell you, hey, you got to pay me $84,000 a quarter. Okay. Got to make the Lambo payment. You know what I'm saying, baby? Got to make a Lambo payment on my Lambo. My gold Lambo. It's solid gold. You know the deal, Chris James only do solid gold except for this, because this silver, because it's a Panther. They call me the Panther. They call me the money bag Panther. All right. So $84,000 a quarter. It's just a great deal. I mean, if it weren't $84,000, then you'd probably think, oh, it's too cheap. It's too cheap. I'm going to make so much money. It's just too cheap. I got a funny story to tell you guys in a minute. Hang on. When Chris James leave, other Chris going to tell you a funny story. Anyways, so I got my Lambo, duh, because it's gold. And then I got a Lambo-shaped house with a Lambo-shaped pool. And we got the dirty energy. That's what powers my house. It's a dirty energy. Oh. Well, so here's the best time, right? Here's the best time. It's oversold. Okay? It's oversold. Because it's oversold, it got to bounce up, right? It'll come back. It's a sure thing, right? I'll be sparkling like I got them diamond hands once this stock comes out. And listen, even if it go down a little bit, that's fine. I'm in for the long term, right? Chris James only think long term. Except for my baby mama, they short term. You know what I'm saying? They short term. Anyway, looking at this stock right here. I say time to load the boat. Dirty energy. I mean, don't worry about this outlier block over here with a 109. Dirty energy. Okay, dirty energy. Because I'm from Dirty South. Probably can't even tell from my accent. It's so small. You can't even, my accent is a good accent. It one time I had to go to the school counselor back when I went to school, and they told me that my accent was just too strong. And I said, Chris James, don't you know the deal about Chris James' accent? Gonna be Chris James all day. So here's the deal. Dirty energy. Let's start buying it now. And I'm gonna put $84,000 for my course, so $84,000 on that. That's what it's gonna be. Dirty energy. All right. What the next is? QQQ. That's the market. I don't care about that. How about Mosaic Company? The Mosaic, the music company. Know what I'm saying? Music, MOS, music it to my ear, music my bank account. See, here we go, baby. Get your diamond hands ready. Go get your polishing cloths, okay? And you start wiping them hands, making them all shiny and sparkly, because we're about to buy the mess out that dip. Right? Here we go. Don't worry about this. Don't worry about that trend. Don't worry about the fear and grease and all that stuff, right? Listen, the Fed gonna save it. Jerome Powell come in. You know what he gonna do? He gonna make. Hang on, get my prop over here. Oh, you know what Jerome Powell gonna do? He's gonna say, "Money printer go burr, baby." Oh no, it's stuck. Money printer go burr. Money printer go burr. So I'm gonna buy the music company. The music company called Mosaic. I'm gonna buy that, and it's gonna be great. So we're gonna go to $1 million a share. It's like 22 and falling hard and fast, but Printer Powell come true. He gonna save it, right? I got a good feel on this one. I got a really good feel. I trust my gut. Okay, trust me, bro. It only goes up. So the music company, how you spell this? We're gonna do another mood joke. Music company. Like I say, this is gonna be the best buy of the year. Well, so I mean, score of 84,000 don't make sense. I wonder what Jerome Powell think of this one, since he's gonna be buying it with me. Chris Chain deserved a chair time take from Jerome Powell. Know what I'm saying? How about 1 million points? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1 million points for the music company. Know what I'm saying? Here we go. It's a cool milli, baby. It's a cool milli. That's how much I'm going to put in. That's how much Jerome hamster. Jerome come hamster. Jeremiah come hamster. Come here, hamster says Amelia. I agree, Jerome. Come over here, hamster. I like it. But listen, I got things to do, right? I got a baby mama on my boat that I got to go take care of. It's going to be a great day. I hope you guys have a great day. We're making all that money as the market be, hey, don't be scared of no little dip, all right? Don't be scared of no little dip. Just go buy it. Just go buy it. And then you're going to look like me. Then you're going to look like me, baby. That's the deal. All day, every day. I got to go. Why y'all watching me, weirdo? I'll see you later.
Knock, 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 knock. It's Chris Chains. Still him. Hit a couple for the door frame. Too loud. Go Lambo parked by the slow lane. Pool shape Lambo, yes, no shame. Iconic. Knock, knock. It's Chris Chains. Don't ask me how. All buys never sell dates. Why would I? If it pump, then I'm self-made. Feel different. Risk management couldn't tell me. Never needed.
What just happened? I blacked out. Oh man, did that guy come and totally jack up our scores over here? Dirty Energy, the Mosaic Company. Oh my good gravy. Oh, this guy, how could he do such a thing? Why would he do this to me? Now we got to have those two at the top. Speaking of, I have to totally divert for a moment because this guy is so Chris Chains, it's not even funny. Mamba FX. I'll show you the clip that I saw this morning. I'm like, oh, you've got to be kidding me. Hang on. First off, I got to turn on the sound. Just a second here. You guys are going to love this. Oh my gosh. Let me turn on the screen share with the sound. Hang on. This strategy makes you profitable instantly. And I was like, okay, sure. Let's see what this is. So I was watching this.
People.
And first off, there's no strategy here. The strategy is go to this like super shady website where you can instantly get funded, right? Instantly get funded. But don't mind the fact that you have to pay them money to quote start trading with them. And he's legitimately Chris Chains, like actually legitimately Chris Chains. Is this not Chris Chains? And then he says, "Oh, just hang on. Let me see if I can find it real quick because here we go. I cracked up so hard when I heard this part. You're gonna laugh. Watch this.
Strategy that's worked for me for the last 5 years and has made me close to $50 million, honestly, just from the strategy alone. I like to show you guys.
It's made me close to $50 million on the strategy. Yeah, I'm sure. This guy is such a freaking joke. And yet that is exactly who Chris Chains is supposed to be. This is real. And the sad part about it is that so many people fall for it. All right, let's finish this list out. But I'm sure he would never actually compete in the U.S. Investing Championship to show how great he is. Because why would he? Right? Of course not. Okay, let's go to the last two. We're gonna skip Qs. We did Mosaic. Let's do Nvidia. NVDA. All right, so Nvidia here. Okay, jeez, this mess that Chris Chains left me. It's money everywhere. By the way, these dollars are so funny. Look at this. It's got Ben Franklin all iced out like Chris Chains. Focus. Oh, come on, baby. Focus. It's not gonna focus. Anyway, he's wearing a gold chain, and sunglasses and everything. So funny. Okay. Yeah, I should send him a cease and desist. Exactly. How dare he? When someone says honestly, there it is. When someone says the word honestly, it's a signal of a liar. Well, I mean, honestly, let's be honest here, right? Let's go back to Nvidia stock. This stock is beautiful. But the sector, fear and greed, breadth looking good. Again, this is the one we talked about earlier that had the outlier blocks. That's really been like a huge bumper right there. But looking at the score, we're just going to throw a 3 on it, right? We don't have to do all kinds of analysis. That's the point of Outlier. It's that you don't have to do all the analysis. The analysis is done for you. Okay. Let's go to our final one. ClearSource. Is this the like TSA pre-check competitor? I don't know. Put it in the chat. I don't know if this is the TSA pre-check competitor. Chris is going to go to the airport on Thursday, and I gotta tell you, I'm a bit anxious. I'm a bit anxious to go to the airport, but I got that TSA pre-check, so it should be good. Yes, it is. Okay. All right. Thanks, Carlitos. So looking at this over here, actually looks really good. You got a 6 of 9, right? And it's getting bigger and better. And I mean, if we want to look at the fundamental story behind it, right? Makes sense to me that this is going to be doing really well when everybody's stuck at the airport. And yeah, so U is going to get us a score of 6 of 9. Now, if Chris Chains hadn't come through and like totally jacked up our rating scale here, we might have actually had some useful ratings. But in the meantime, let's just sort it the way it is. Okay. Sort it the way it is. Sort and filter, largest to smallest. Okay. So the music company, which is MOS, got a score of 1 million. Dirty Energy got a score of 84,000. U got a score of 6. USO 5. Micron U 5. Microsoft 3. SMCI 3. Nvidia 3. SPY 1. And Mainstream got negative 14. So, of course, going through all this, right? As you can see, you can type in basically any stock, right? Let's put in Tesla over here. You can type in any stock and you can see with a moment's glance, hey, how does this stock look? Is it worth your time to invest in? Probably not. Probably not, right? And just that fast, you can see this, right? That's the whole point. That's why I'm going through. It's basically a demo of how to use Outlier, okay? And look at this. Boom. Right, this one looks a lot better, although not all that great. So this is the kind of analysis that you can do basically almost at your fingertips, right? It's faster than going through TSA pre-check, according to Manny. 125 minutes. Oh my gosh, jeepers creepers. But the point of Outlier is to help you save time, make money, and start winning with less risk. And if you want to see more, click one of these 2 videos right here and have a fantastic day.